This is Andrew Holness, full speech guys in the groundbreaking opening of the Morant Bay Urban Center. Trust me, this man is, above the rest in relation to intellect. I know him articulate himself to resonate through the people them. His message was very profound. And I want you guys to listen. But then again, I want to rub a little can because this is one of the major infrastructure development in Jamaica. And we had to have a renowned ceremony, to open the whole urban center, and we did not see a opposition leader. We did not see a Gensec. None of those persons of that sort. Just, Mr. Fenton Ferguson. Respect for that. But I don't know how them stay already. Them shun development, them shun progress. Them don't have no consensus in relation to the development of the country. Them never give credit when it's due. Never them rather keep silent and stay far from it. And just to show you how ridiculous they are. Them scan my stomach. Trust me. But I'm not really that way I talk about Jamaica. Just listen to this speech, a very profound speech by the Prime Minister himself. One love, Jamaica first. Welcome. St. Thomas is not the forgotten parish anymore. Brother Andrew, I'm going to sing for Manchester too, I don't know, so from them elements that come to Manchester, the mayor and the Mr. Bunting from back then, they may just degrade with town, nasty up with town. Go do something for your Manchester, man. Trust me.
So ladies and gentlemen, we're coming from 2017 and we're here now. The reality of the Morant Bay Urban Center.
We broke ground in 2019. Then we had COVID. Notwithstanding all the challenges, we are here today in 2025 at the Morant Bay Urban Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now we are going to have what I'm terming the feature presentation. The builder is what he's called. He claims, and rightly so, paternity to development across Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, without a vision, as we would have heard and as we know, the people perish. We have a visionary. We have someone that can take concepts to reality. And he leads a team that knows how to do just that and so much more. Today we recognize the most honorable Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Andrew Michael Holness. This is his vision. And so, with the blessings from above, with these showers of blessings, I invite all of us to help me to welcome on stage Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Bad mind, when me blast off the spaceship, we are walk with that, we are no nail clip. Them never
Thank you very much.
Make it. Every record when them set off will break.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Please, please, if you are able to have your seat, please be seated. First, let me start off by giving thanks to God, who has made this day possible. and we give God thanks for the showers of blessings that He has rained on us. We are not dry weather people. We are resilient people. And we know that God is pleased with what we have done here today. Allow me to thank those who have mastered the ceremony so far, and allow me as well to acknowledge Mr. Fenton Ferguson, representing the Leader of the Opposition, the members of my cabinet who are here. So many of them are here, I could convene a cabinet meeting. His Excellency, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Chen Daozhang, and here I must mention the special effort and support of the Chinese government and China Harbor Engineering Company, who played a critical role in this development. I must especially acknowledge the members of Parliament who also played a critical liaison role in ensuring that the project went off seamlessly. MP James Robertson for Western St. Thomas and Dr. Michelle Charles for Eastern St. Thomas. Allow me as well to acknowledge our custos, the Honorable Norma Walters, and our Mayor, Marcia Bennett. Forgive me, Custos Marcia Bennett. Allow me to acknowledge our Mayor, Councillor Louis Chin, Mayor of Morant Bay. Now, what can I say about the Honorable Big Ton Shirley? Because it's no more Little Ton anymore. The chairman of the Factories Corporation, who has taken on this project not just for his own professional duty, but he has taken it on as a passion project. This is something that he really wanted to see done, and I commend you, Tani, for the effort that you have put in. Mr. Angus Young, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Commercial Bank Capital Markets Limited, for your partnership in this project. Mr. Dan Granby, Country Manager of China Harbor Engineering Company, and all the clients and stakeholders of the Morant Bay Urban Center. But most of all, I want to thank each and every one of you here who has come to witness this moment in history. I want to thank the people of St. Thomas for your patience, for your long-suffering and your endurance. Today, we definitively close the chapter of decades of underdevelopment, disinvestment, infrastructural neglect that have long defined a narrative of St. Thomas being the forgotten parish. Today, we emphatically declare that St. Thomas is firmly on the path for the fulfillment of its true vision of a prosperous, growing, fair, and equitable society. Today is 160 years since the Morant Bay Rebellion. For many, there is an expectation that for the wrongs that were done to us and our forebears and our ancestors, that there must be reparations. And I believe that there must be reparations. And eventually, inevitably, there will be reparations. We must keep up the fight for reparations. But I also believe that the duty of reparations does not only lie on the generations that follow the wrong, in the sense of the generations of those who committed the wrong should right the wrongs of their forebears. It is also incumbent on the generations of the victims to also, in their own actions, in their own achievements, in the decisions they make, to right the wrongs that were visited upon their forebears. In other words, whilst I believe that there must be reparations, I am not going to wait on it. I believe that I have the strength and vigor of my mind and body. I believe I have the agency, meaning the independence to act in my own interest. And I believe I have equal or even greater intellect to use whatever little resources I have to correct the wrongs that were visited on my forebears, so that my children coming won't have to suffer the indignity and the wrongs. And it is in doing that that you are able to stand up as equal to those who have done you wrong in the past. To say, regardless of what you have done to me, see, I have made good with my own two hands. I have pulled myself up from the bootstraps. I have stood up against obstacles, and I have overcome. Today is a day when the people of St. Thomas can say, we are overcoming 160 years of wrongs and neglect. And we are doing it of and by ourselves with our own resources. That is what it means, my people, to be independent. That is what it means to be independent. I am not an ideologue. I don't believe in any form of ideology other than what makes sense, other than what works, other than what is practical, other than what is fair. And I have conducted myself.
Break free with the new Opera GX, the browser that puts you in control with a brand new
regard. A decade ago, at a church in this parish, I hosted a town hall meeting called Prosperity Live. Some of you here may have been in that church hall. And a young lady stood up and she said, and I'm paraphrasing her, St. Thomas needs development. For too long, we have neglected the parish. And she used certain examples to demonstrate the neglect. I'll never forget it. She said St. Thomas is the only parish that doesn't have a stoplight. And then she went on to say, St. Thomas don't even have a KFC. Now I am going to send a bill for promotion to KFC because the amount of time that they have been mentioned here. But you get the point that the people of St. Thomas wanted to see the signs of modernity in their parish. 10 years later, I am able to stand here and say, St. Thomas, I did not forget you. St. Thomas, you are now at the cutting edge, the frontier of new developments in Jamaica. Ground was broken in 2019, but the plan was actually conceived in 2017. And I recall distinctly when we broke ground, there were those disbelievers, as there always are persons who are skeptical, that said it wouldn't happen. There were those who probably secretly wanted it not to happen. But by God's willing and hard work, it has happened. We have a comprehensive development plan for your parish. We started off with the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project, a 16 kilometers 4-lane highway from Harbour View to Yallas, and 96 kilometers of improved roadway from Yallas to Port Antonio. All of that together represents approximately $200 million of expenditure. That is about $32 billion spent on improving access through the parish. And it wasn't all the main road. We improved the road access for Cedar Valley as well, and other roads leading off. And it wasn't just roads. We also put in water, we put in sewage, and we also laid the conduits and cables for broadband internet to come to this parish. We have built this Morant Bay Urban Center at a cost of $6 billion Jamaican dollars. We have built the Yallas Fire Station at a cost of $163 million Jamaican dollars. We have upgraded the Acadia and Port Morant Health Center at a cost of $37 million Jamaican dollars. Not to mention the whole heap of social housing that we have given in the parish, and today I'll be handing over about 6 more. And we're not stopping yet, because there is much more to be done. Much, much more. We have 13.5 acres of land in proximity to this development. And I want you to look out for it, because I intend to come to the first festival or stage show that is kept there, when Gramps and the Morgan family is performing, when Popcorn, as Prime Minister, of course, what do you think? I intend to be there to hear Tony Ann sing. Sing. I'm not going to do any singing today. But we're going to develop that 13.5 acres of land into a multi-purpose entertainment and sports facility. that is going to be the envy of other parishes. This project is not yet finished because we're going to do another extension of 10 acres of new buildings for micro and small businesses in St. Thomas, right here, right on this center. And we are not just thinking for 5 years, we are thinking for the next 50 years. This urban center is going to grow. And so we are taking the steps necessary to ensure that we have access to lands around the urban center to secure its future expansion. We are very happy that we can bring a university to the parish. We are very happy that the Heart Trust is going to be here, not just as an administrative office, but they will have the training facilities here as well. When I heard the announcement that PICA will be here, a lot of noise went up for them. That's the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, JPS, NWC, the National Housing Trust, the Jamaica Information Service, all kinds of government entities are going to be here. So the people of St. Thomas don't have to travel to Kingston to be connected with their government. They can come right here. Oh, did I mention that the tax office will be here as well? But while I'm very proud of this building, which is your municipal head office, your parish council head office building, I'm also very proud of the courthouse. And there's a reason. You see, a part of the spark for the Morant Bay Rebellion was that the small farmers, the children of the former enslaved who worked the fields, trying to do their little business, they couldn't get justice. They were occupying lands, and the plantation owners didn't want them to become subsistent farmers. So they did all kinds of things to undermine their occupation of the land, so that they had to come back to the plantation to work. And therefore, even if as freedmen they would go to plead their case in court, they couldn't get any justice, because the administration of the court system was also a part of the planter class. And that created a sense of injustice in the society, and that boiled over into the rebellion. So it is very symbolic that we are going to be putting right here the most modern court facility in Jamaica, and possibly indeed in the Caribbean, right here in the Morant Bay Urban Center. We are also going to be building out medical facilities, and this will host 25 specialized units ranging from general practitioners, pediatricians, neurologists, orthopedic surgeons, you name it. And we will also have a facility for accident and emergency and urgent care. This will significantly improve access to health care in St. Thomas. We are laying the foundation, my friends, for a new economy in this parish. And I want you to pay attention to that mission. We are not going to create prosperity without creating an economy. And to create the economy, you have to build infrastructure. because it is the infrastructure that creates the platform on which people can do business and generate profit and satisfy demand. This lovely facility here, this very convenient facility here, well designed and well laid out, this is going to create the new economy that will generate the new wealth for the parish. Not just for people who are already rich, but for every single person in St. Thomas. This will be generating the prosperity that you have always wished for. The important point to note, however, is that this development is not only going on in St. Thomas. We have already started the Boundbrook Urban Center. So the people of Portland will be experiencing this kind of joy to see the restructuring and redevelopment of their parish, to see the creation of a new economy in their parish. We have started to acquire lands in Negril, because the town of Negril is growing rapidly and it needs its own urban center. In Portmore, we are looking at a project in Portmore that we are going to be calling the Jamaican Silicon Valley. And that project is in its development state. It's the Nagohead Integrated Business Center, and that center will be the largest project undertaken by the FCJ. It will span 1 million square feet. That would be about 2 times the size of this project. Minister Vaz pointed out to me that when I am speaking, I must mention that it is not just roads that we have built, but we have allocated 2 bus routes to St. Thomas. And those 2 bus routes, since they have been installed less than 3 months now, about 4 months now, they have carried over 100,000 rides. And I am certain that everyone who is using those buses are very happy, because it is saving them bus fare, improving their convenience, and it is operating on time. But more is to come. You're going to get 7 school buses that will be serving some of the remote areas of the parish. And I'm certain that the children of this parish will be very happy to be able to use those buses. And of course, those buses will be free of cost to them in terms of bus fare. But what I'm also very proud of and very pleased of, you haven't seen it yet. Well, you have seen a little of it. But St. Thomas is going to see an explosion in housing development. Already, we have about 2 or 3 housing developments happening along the road corridor. But I'm here to tell you that I am in sight of at least 3 other major developments to come on more than 3,000 acres of land, which will give both accessible, affordable, and low-income housing and middle and upper-income housing. So the entire parish is going to be a place where people are going to come and move in to live. So you who have been here suffering for a long time, you are also going to benefit because they have to come to your market. They have to hire you. They have to come and use your service. So your parish is going to grow and your income is going to grow. And from your income, you will be able to do the things that you have always wanted. Now I know, I'm the first to tell you that there is still a lot to be done. We know that there are communities that still don't have proper water supply. We know that there are communities that still have bad roads. We know that there are many houses to be fixed. The last time I toured, they took me on the river bank around that side and showed me how the river is eating away and threatening their houses. We have to address those. So as I stand here and tell you all the great things, I don't want you to believe that I am not also aware of the things that are dragging on your mind. But anybody can come here and play upon grievance and grouses, but not anyone can actually say, I can deliver. I can deal with those issues. I know how to deal with it because I can show you how I have dealt with it. So I said to those persons who choose not to look at the positive side of things, those who choose to see the glass as half empty, I say to them, look to the person who can fill the glass. Look to the person who has made the glass half empty. Because the person who is complaining that the glass is half empty is usually the person who never put a drop in the glass. And if you want the glass to full, you have to deal with the person who at least bring it from 0 to half. We are ready to bring you from 0 to 100 and even more. So, as I close my presentation to you, with the showers of blessings on us, I feel like we have closed the circle with Paul Bogle and George William Gordon, who gave their lives, and the over 400 Jamaicans who were slaughtered, massacred in the rebellion. I feel that today we are beginning to repair the injustices of the past by our own means and through our own will. We are charting our own course to prosperity, which is the true destiny promised to us. So I want to tell you, the people of St. Thomas, we are happy with what we have achieved, but we are not comfortable, and therefore we are continuing on the journey to make the glass full. God bless you, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. We are going to move directly to the cutting of the ribbon. The ushers will escort the Prime Minister to the cutting of the ribbon. We're going to invite Dr. Fenton Ferguson to join
the Prime Minister, Minister Desmond McKenzie, Minister Delroy Chuck, His Excellency Chen Daojang, MP James Robertson, Mayor Louis Chin, Mr. Angus Young, Honorable Littleton Shirley, Mr. Dan Granby, Mrs. Arlene Williams, and Dr. Donald Farquharson to accompany the Prime Minister for the ribbon cutting.
While the ribbon cutting is going on, we're going to invite all the clients, if you could take a position at your respective locations at the Urban Center, such that Following the ribbon cutting, when the Prime Minister does the tour, he can engage you at your respective spaces on the Urban Center. So, ladies and gentlemen, the moment officially is here when the Prime Minister, flanked by all the persons we just indicated, will be doing the cutting of the ribbon. So the Prime Minister is indeed in position. And he's being joined
by Dr. Fenton Ferguson, Minister Desmond McKenzie, Minister Delroy Chuck, His Excellency Chen Zhuang, MP James Robertson, Mayor Louis Chin, Angus Young, Honorable Littleton Shirley, Mr. Dangram B, Mrs. Arlene Williams, and Dr. Donald Farquharson.
Dr. Farquharson, the Managing Director of
the Factories Corporation of Jamaica.
We remind the respective clients of the Urban Center to ensure that you take up position at your respective locations here at the Urban Center, such that so soon as the Prime Minister removes from the gate where the ribbon is being cut, he can engage you at your respective spaces.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. The vision has become reality. The Morant Bay Urban Center is being officially opened. Cheers to the parish of St. Thomas.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You have been a great audience. We have received blessings upon this space and at this place, and we give thanks for that. So it's with an attitude of gratitude that we both say thank you for this morning and all that is in store, but the work has now begun.
Get your visas ready to enter the parish of St. Thomas.
My name is Fabian Brown, and it certainly was a pleasure, indeed a privilege, to engage you this morning as we sought to navigate the ceremony as it was. And with me,
Rochelle Cameron.
Thank you very much, Rochelle. It certainly was a pleasure.